Stop telling people how to run their business. It's my life, take it or leave it, set me free. What's that crap? Papa know it all. I got my own life, you got your own life. Live your own life and set me free. Mind your business and live my business. You know everything, Papa know it all. Very little knowledge is dangerous. Stop bugging me, stop bothering me, stop bugging me, stop fussing me, stop fighting me, stop yelling me. It's my life. It's my life. It's my life, my world. 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 It's my life. Do you understand? I live the way I want to live. I make decisions day and night. Show me signs and good examples. Stop telling people how to run your business. Take a trip to east and west. You find out you don't know anything. Everybody's getting tired of you. Sometimes you have to look and listen. You can even learn from me. Little knowledge is dangerous. It's my life. It's my life. It's my life, my world. 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 It's my life. Set me free. So you bet, so you lie. What you see is what you get. Listen to people and saw things I do them no more. Things I say them no more. Changes come once in life. Stop bugging me, stop bothering me, stop bugging me, stop fussing me, stop fighting me, stop yelling me, stop telling me, stop seeing me. It's my life. It's my life. It's my life, my world. 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 It's my life. 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 It's my life.
Yeah, it's my life. Welcome everybody to our webinar this afternoon. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Yin Yang of Sales building on their success, moving online with their webinars. My name is Brett Pretorius and I have the honor of hosting and facilitating this webinar for Stephen and for Banesh this afternoon, the Yin Yang of Sales. So we are going to just very quickly go over some guidelines of etiquette for those who might not be used to the Zoom platform right now. Please keep the chat window open. You'll see the chat window towards the bottom right of the toolbar that is on your screen right now. It says chat. And you just keep that chat open because we'll be sending messages and asking for your input as we go along throughout the afternoon, over the next hour. You'll also see that there is a place at the bottom of the chat screen, sorry, at the bottom of the participants window where you can raise your hand. There's a little blue hand. You can click on that, raise your hand if you'd like to contribute or ask a question, and we'll organize for you to contribute to us. Please leave the mic on mute. If you do want to contribute, just hold down the space bar on your keyboard, hold down the space bar and you'll be able to speak. As soon as you release that, you will be muting yourself again, a very convenient feature. So please bear that in mind. And if you do want to contribute, we ask you, if you don't mind switching your video on, I will try and, as the coordinator, I'll try and organize that for you. Great. Just last one then, please connect with us when you can. Just pop in at theyingyangofsales.com to our website and have a look at what's happening over there. Pop into Facebook, like us, make some comments, share the comments that are there. We'd really appreciate that, as well as on YouTube and on Instagram. Fine. So I'd like to introduce you now to the dynamic duo of the hour, Vinesh Maharaj and Mr. Stephen van Basten. Stephen is he knows how to play the inner game. He plays the game from the heart, the inner game. He's an advanced Toastmaster. Stephen has not only written books on this subject, he is a trained DeMartini method facilitator. He's an advanced Toastmaster. He's worked with some of the major corporations and assist them to achieve their goals with his expertise. He is a international karate champion, and you can see in the box at the bottom there the whole list of credentials that Stephen brings to the party, a very highly respected man in his game. Vinesh Maharaj, the outer game, the man of action. He is a public speaker, he's a trainer, a radio personality, and he's also helped a lot of very large companies to achieve their sales goals in the field that they're working in, from financial services and entrepreneurship sectors. So Vinesh brings the disruptive thinking and self-confidence to the table. Stephen brings the game of the heart to the table. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Steve van Basten and Vinesh Maharaj.
Hey, Brett, thank you very much for that powerful introduction. Hey, congratulations to all of you who are here. You made the commitment, you made the decision to show up, and showing up is the first sign, the first indicator of success. Stepping up, showing up, getting committed, and congratulations. Tap yourself on the back for being here. So Stephen and I are very popular in the game of sales, but actually we're more popular or less popular in the game of life. And the game of life is the game that you and I play every single day, how to get out of our comfort zones, confront our goals, crush them, incinerate them, and step into a beautiful lifestyle. So this program is titled Create the Ultimate Lifestyle by Kicking Average in the Teeth. We believe that nobody wants an average lover, an average movie, an average dinner. We want exceptional, we want exotic, we want exciting, we want phenomenal life experiences. But life beats you and me down. And how we respond or react to that is all the difference. And Stephen and I have realized from working with salespeople that if we could help them in other areas of their lives, boom, somehow magically, mystically, it all comes together and they can become free from the rat race, free from their limited thinking, free from suffering, and ultimately embrace their potential and not suffer in mediocrity. Stephen, the inner game guru, he's going to spend the next 20 or 30 minutes with you. He's going to be talking about so much that'll shift you just in this hour that you spend with us. I would encourage you, get a pen and a paper handy. Make some notes, sit upright, don't slouch in your chair. Because if you do, you're going to miss these pearls, these nuggets. So Stephen's going to give you some of the cutting edge techniques and technologies. Already Brett has described some of his background. I've been with Stephen for the last 3.5, 4 years roughly. I get the numbers a little mixed up, but more than 3 years. And in that time, I've seen a man with a big think. I've seen a man with a greater vision. I've met a man who wants to make a difference. And this is the platform. How do we make a difference in the 7 areas of your life? So you stop getting beat up by life, but you start fighting back for your goals, for your spouse, your kids, your dreams, your lifestyle, and take back what is yours, because you are born with pure potential onto this planet. God or nature, whatever you believe in, God or nature, whatever you believe in, has gifted you this opportunity. Now it's up to you and I to play full out, to step up and be greater, to overcome fear, to be fearless, and to be dominant in our spaces, and then become totally free of the corona, COVID-19, free of limited thinking, free of all the trappings of the past, because too many of us a suffering mediocrity of the past, and they keep us trapped, or we are in fear of the future. Stephen's going to take you on a wonderful process now to help you unleash some of that. Ladies and gentlemen, for the next 20 to 30 minutes, show some love. Put your hands together for the amazing Mr. Stephen Van Basten. Woo! Over to you, Stephen.
Oh, thank you, Vinesh. What a man. Love you to bits, man. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations on being here. We've put this together quite quickly. We thought we would take advantage of lockdown. We've been sitting thinking, what can we do with our businesses? What can we do with our lives? And that's what we have been doing. And we put this together reasonably quickly because we really want to make a difference in this time when we can. So it is a fantastic time to be contemplating. It's a fantastic time just to be sitting back and wondering what this is all about. Why are we here? What is our mission? What's our vision? What does God want for us? Why are we on planet Earth? And and then also we really need to now start rethinking, relooking. And because the world is different from lockdown in South Africa, when it comes down to 0 or 1, whichever is the lowest, we will emerge into a very, very different place. And we need to look at history, and we need to recognize that the real powerful people, the successful people, are those who have been able to adapt. So, ladies and gents, unfortunately, we live on a planet where it's the survival of the fittest, and we need to ensure that we are the ones that adapt and not the ones that die. So some of your old dreams, you're going to have to put aside for a while. Some of your old beliefs, you're going to have to put aside for a while. Some of the ways that you used to do things, you're going to have to put aside for a while and start planning new things. So it's wonderful to have you with us. Thank you very much. I'm going to jump right into it with a concept that Vinesh and I thought about recently, or put together recently, and that is, I'm 55 years old now. I think he's about 10 years younger. He's about 45 or so. He looks 38, 37. But, one of the things we agree on is that if we could change one thing, it would be to get good coaching sooner. And actually, to pay for good coaching. So, it's fine. There's lots of free stuff. You can go on YouTube. You can get so much free stuff. Absolutely. But there just seems to be something about, the live interaction. And also, quite frankly, when you've got some skin in the game, when you pay a little bit of money for coaching, you get a lot more out of it. When I was with Action Coach, I spent a fantastic year. It was expensive. And I made my money back. Absolutely, no doubt. But let me tell you something, the more you pay, the more you get out of it, because you are concentrating and getting your value for money. So, this is also a time when we need to be generous. We need to be more generous than normal. If you're in the privileged position to have, we need to be helping those who have not. It's a really tough time. It's an incredibly tough time out there. And, one of my lockdown goals, for example, is to continue to pay all of my beautiful creditors, right? Everyone I owe, everyone who trusted me with their product and trusted me with credit, I will pay them, including my bond, including the CHAR, etc., etc. And, and I've continued my coaching that I pay for. So, you as you sow, so shall you reap. You can't expect to get paid unless you pay in the people that you have to pay. So that's just one of the thoughts, the lockdown thoughts right here today. I've got a screen to share with you. Let me get onto that. I've got a couple of thoughts I'd love to share, and then I'll take you through my part of the curriculum. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a series of 1 hour modules for 10 days in a row, starting on the 6th of May. 6th of May at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, from 3 to 4. So 10 modules that will take you through what we believe are the most powerful parts of self-mastery and lifestyle mastery. So we are the yin yang of sales. Vinesh did a great job of introducing me, and so did Brett. But I'd like to just introduce myself. Just take 30 seconds, if you wouldn't mind. I wake up every morning and I wonder about the meaning of life. I wonder why we're here. I wonder what this is all about. I wonder what my mission is in this lifetime. And, I wonder how I can eke out a better living for myself, my family, and my friends, and those that want to join me in this incredible journey called life. You know, this incredible journey where we learn from our mistakes. We just always growing, always growing, always growing. So, you know, I wonder how I can fulfill my wife's needs so well that she doesn't have to subcontract those out anyway, right? And I wondered how I could bring my daughter up so that, you know, that day when she left home, she was a beautiful balance of beautiful, nurturing, soft and cuddly and womanly, but also streetwise on the strange planet that we have lived on. I've spent hours and hours with the best minds on earth. Those that have died, I've read upon their works. Nothing gives me greater pleasure than to study, educate myself, learn more, grow more, test and tweak, apply, and then share the best of what I've learned with those that want to jump on the bandwagon and actually jump into the fire with me. So, you know, I love the story of the Starfish Foundation, the owner allegedly of the Starfish Foundation. She was throwing starfish back into the sea. A whole bunch of starfish were on the beach, thousands and thousands. She was throwing them back one at a time. And of course, one of her friends came to her and said, "What are you doing?" You know, like friends do. And she said, "Well, I'm saving the starfish." And her friend said, "Well, you can't make a difference." And she picked up one starfish, threw it into the sea, splash. And she said, "Sure made a difference to that one." And that's all we're after. We're after the people that would love to join us on this incredible journey called life and suck the marrow out of it, man. Make every single moment real and work. So we have a whole bunch of thoughts. You know, I have done hours and hours with Dr. John Demartini. He's my current guru. I change them every 5 or 10 years. But you know, he has brought some aspects that are so amazing, and I thank him every day. In fact, I thanked him on LinkedIn the other day just for the part he's played in my life, because I've been able to manage lockdown and the virus and the strange situation we find ourselves in so much better because I've had his coaching, I've had his teachings, and I've been able to assimilate them for myself. And I would love to do the same for each one of you. So yes, we are in a strange place, but you know, I'm going to ask you right now. Just let's start a little bit of coaching. So by being on the group today, inadvertently, you've asked us to be coaches, and we're going to be gentle with you. But you know, right now, what are the blessings of the virus? What are the blessings of lockdown? You know, I popped onto Facebook the other day and asked that. I said, complete this sentence. I'm grateful for the virus and lockdown because, you know, if you can write down 100 reasons, and there are actually 1,000 reasons, there are 1,000 things that have been positive for you because of this. If you write them down, you'll feel so much better. Then the next thing you've got to do is you've got to go, you know, how do I do things differently? How do I do things from a lockdown position? How do, you know, Vanesh and I, we love being in the room. Right now, we would much prefer to be able to see you, interact with you, build rapport with you, make you laugh with you. However, we can't. So this is the second best for us. But we changed quickly and we got onto this medium. What do you need to do in your life, in your business, to take advantage of this time? You know, there's a saying that most millionaires were made during the downtime. You know, I was watching, and I've been quite amazed, quite frankly. I've been watching the Satrix 40, the JCE, and I've been watching some international stock markets, and waiting. So when the JCE crashed about 30%, you know, I bought some shares in the All Share Index just because I know that things go down, but they'll come back up again. And actually, they are up about 18% right now. So where are your opportunities? You know, John Demartini will also teach you and us that nothing's ever lost. So you may think you've lost your freedom. So I'm going to ask you, where's your freedom now? Nothing's ever lost. It just changes form. So where's your freedom now? Where's your income now? You know, where's your fulfillment coming from now? And I promise you, there are beautiful ways that you can notice that that actually this is a very interesting time. The other concept that, you know, we've got to bring you just from a personal development and inner game perspective and just an understanding of the universe and the human race and human behavior and natural law is that there's always balance. So, you know, if any of you have done breakthrough experience with John Demartini, you will know that that things are that balance happens immediately, simultaneously. So while this really strange, wacky stuff's going on, what is the amazing stuff that's brewing in the background. I do some grief coaching and counseling with people who have lost people, and I attend lots of funerals, etc. And when from an outsider's perspective, when you're looking at a funeral, and yes, it's sad and people have lost things, but you know how much beauty is around. You know how beautiful it is to stand on the outside and just watch people supporting each other, people loving each other. A little kid goes up to do a eulogy and the love in her parents' eyes. And then that father's doing a eulogy for his best and crying, and his little kid comes up and holds his leg. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And so what's the beauty that's coming out of this? I promise you it's there, because if you're depressed about this, it's just because you're looking at the one-sided. You have a one-sided point to this, and you need to just acknowledge that it's there. And then just go on the side, go, so what are the benefits? What are the benefits? What are the benefits? And as you grow that side, you get to balance. You go, you know what? History repeats itself. I made it, to me personally, 55. I'm beating the odds, man. Survival of the fittest. So pat yourself on the shoulder or the heart and go, well done on making it this far. Right, let's go. So, a little bit about Vinesh and I. This is our societal vision. And we don't share it often because it's very personal, but I'm tearing up right now. I'm emotional right now, and I haven't even read it yet. And every time I do, it just hits me in the heart because it's so powerful, so beautiful. This is what we're about, to change racial paradigms in society by proving that two humans with extremely different backgrounds can meet equally, accept each other unconditionally, and create something extraordinary. For those of you who weren't on earlier, Vinesh is an Indian fellow. Okay, I'm a white guy. He's tall, dark, and handsome. I'm short, fat, and ugly. All right, and he's got this outer game. I've got this inner game. We're like yin yang. We're like soulmates. It's just as well we're both married otherwise. And if he was a girl and we were both unmarried, I promise you we'd be dating. An amazing man. Okay, and this is what we're about. It's just creating more. When you look at the people you revere, you'll find that they arrived as a human and left as a master. Look at Martin Luther King. Look at Gandhi. Look at Madiba. They arrived as babies, peeing in their nappies and pooing in their nappies and having someone wipe their bums, right? But they left as masters, and that is what we want for ourselves. We want to rise above. We want to become more. Amen. I can see Vinesh Maharaj. He's like, whoa, check out this mover. Check out this white oak going. Very good, very good. Thanks, Vinesh. So here we go. This is the beautiful moment. And those of you, listen, I'm streaming live on Facebook. So unfortunately, those of you who are watching there can't see the slide, but I'm going to tell it to you. It's the meme of memes. It's the moment of moments. One dude asks the other, why are you so optimistic about 2020? What do you think it will bring? He goes, I think it'll bring flowers. Why? Because I'm planting flowers. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you today, what are you planting? What are you seeding? What is your beautiful brain creating? If you've done Mind Power with Robin Banks and John Kehoe, if you haven't, please do. If you have, you'll know that they'll tell you the brain is a beautiful servant, but it's a terrible master. The unfortunate thing is the brain is our master most of all. We've been programmed, and it's just running its old programs. And what we need to do is we've got to decide what to cull, what to get rid of, what to preserve, and what to keep, what to create. So what should we be creating now? What should we be getting rid of? What should we be preserving? So those of you who know me will know I'm not particularly good with names. However, you'll always remember the names of the people that are incredibly important to you. So I remember my wife's name. I remember my daughter's name. I remember Vanessa's name. I remember Laurisa's name because she's on the top 5 most important people in my life. So I remember those people. Okay, and this is one of the exercises we're going to take you through when you join us. Is just have a look at who are the most important 5 people in your life. What do you need to do to fulfill them? And then make sure that you do that. Then I'm going to suggest you look at the 5 people at the bottom of your list to give you the most hassles and encourage you to call them. Just get rid of them. Okay. So it's going to be fun. We're going to go deep down. I'm going to give you some really good thoughts. But right now I'm seeding for you. What are you planting? What are you seeding? What are you creating? And could you take a little bit more control of your own life? So, I was born into a very extremely religious family. I was told that you have a destiny and that you give your life over, and then whatever happens is God's will. And that is true. There is destiny, absolutely. However, I have found in my 55 years since that teaching that there are things that I seem to be able to control. I seem to be able to focus on something and manifest it. You know, I seem to be able to, through other techniques that I've learned, meditation techniques, that when I'm feeling a little bit of pain and I focus my consciousness there, the pain goes away. Where consciousness flows, healing flows. You know, where your thought flows is what you start to create. So we've learned over the past 3 years, Vanesh and I, that the things we focus on, the things we concentrate on, start to manifest. And that's really what we want to do. We just want to facilitate the process where you find out, firstly, you dare to dream. You know, you dare to dream. You write down, what are your top, what's your dream home, your dream car, your dream environment, your dream family, your dream business, your bucket list items, your dream destinations. We start to get those visual, we start to get some prayers or affirmations around them. And we just program in our beautiful brains, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. When we do this course with you, I'll show you. I have some beautiful stuff. You know, Jackson and I dancing. And I've got this beautiful affirmation. My wife and I get closer and relate to each other better through dancing. And we started a dance class. Beautiful. That would not have happened unless we started to create it. So, you know, we'll take you through, for example, the 9 steps of manifestation. I'll give you 3. Work out where you are. Work out what you want to be. And the third one's so important. Is it important enough? Is it truly important enough? And that, before you know that, we've got to work through the John DeMartini exercise, right? Finding your high values, the high value determination exercise. So if we take you through a process that will truly get you clear once and for all what your mission is on earth. Why are you here? What's your why? What's your vision? What's your mission? Man, when you come from that place, you're in such a strong position. So right here, where do you believe you are? And in your mind, could I ask you just to move yourself a little to the left? Could you put your hand on your heart and go, yeah, I take, it's important for me to take a little bit more control. It's imperative that I start to take more control of the things that I can control. All right, here we go. So Vanesh and I will be speaking about this. Create the ultimate lifestyle by kicking average in the teeth. That's the title of Vanesh's book. He is an author, published author, Vanesh Maharaj. Kick average in the teeth. Because ladies and gents, we do not want an average life. You do not want to be average. You do not want to be normal. Average is doormat. It's like normal. It's like everyone. I mean, you want to stand up and I ask you right now, just put your hand on your heart. When you put your hand on your heart and go, John DeMartiniism here, right? I give myself permission to be awesome. I give myself permission to be great. I give myself permission to live more and get more and be more and create more and just rip the horns of this life that I'm in right now. Right. So, you know what? We've been programmed, ladies and gents. We've been programmed. And, you know, well-meaning parents and religious leaders and teachers programmed us. Our parents programmed us in the formative years, those first 7 years. We're just running those programs. I have an NLP coach, and what we're doing, we're slowly but surely just rewiring those programs, getting rid of some of them and going, you know what, Stephen, you're 55 now. You're not 5 years old anymore. Why are you running the 5-year-old programs? So we're just upgrading those very carefully, very cleverly. So just so both of you know, Vanesh and I are both accredited NLP coaches. NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. It's just one aspect of the many things we do. But it's so stunning because neuro is your brain, linguistic is words, and programming. So reprogramming your brain using words and just reframing the process. It's no different to John DeMartini's breakthrough experience and the DeMartini method. I'm an accredited DeMartini facilitator. Sorry, I'm a trained DeMartini facilitator, method facilitator. So the two are so alike. And Byron Katie, loving what is, so very alike in all of those things. We bring all of that together, all of these different modalities, and we bring them into one in a 10-hour course. Right, here we go. You need to change your mindset to bring new results. So you know, one of the definitions of crazy and of madness is when you do the same thing over and over and you expect a different outcome. You know, you have to change your mindset. You have to change the inner game, and then the outer game starts to change with it. And we'll show you how. We've done it. We've been doing this for 3 years, and it's just magnificent. So, you know, we'd love to help you to create the life that you don't need a holiday from. I'm going to just let that hang in the air. I'm going to share something that the more romantic of you will not like. I prefer being in the room with Vinesh, doing our work, doing sales bootcamp, uplifting lives, than at the end of the year when we go on holiday. When we're on holiday, I'm not in my high values. It's work for me. Okay, I'd rather be doing a funeral sometimes, seriously, because I'm helping people through a really, really difficult time, and that's my vocation. That's what I'm about. That's what I want to do. Okay, so if you, it is possible for you to hate Fridays and love Monday. Because at the moment, you're loving 2 days of the week, and actually, the weekend isn't always that great, right? Imagine you could love 7 days of the week or 5 days. On a Sunday night, you say to your partner, I can't wait for tomorrow, man, because I've created this astounding lifestyle. This is what we would love. And, this is a very aspiring picture. So not all of you are materialistic, and that's fine. You won't have materialism high in your values. I like a high level of comforts and beauty, and that picture there just inspires me. For those of you who would love that, I'm here to tell you, you can have that if it's important enough, and if you'll put in the time and the energy and the focus. You can have anything you want, anything. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to dream now. What do you want? What do you really want? We had a religious teaching from one area of my life. One of the people said, if they had their way, they would train parrots for human beings. And there's a parrot going, attention, attention, attention to what's really important. Attention to what's really important. What's really important? Rachel Gagnon, what's really important, my darling? Morgen workel vir meel in jou eister. I've got some friends on Facebook there, Vinesh. What's really important? What's important to you? And what would you love? What would you aspire to? What are you willing to die for? We've just gone through Easter. What are you willing? What will you give your life for? What will you give your life energy, your life blood for? What will you give your energy for? What do you truly love? You can have it if it's important enough. That was number 3 of the manifestation. So, you know what? We want to be your coaches, but not quite like this. Okay. We want to give you a what happened club, but it won't be quite that voice. All right. But, we want to help you with a little reality club, but don't worry, it won't be that hectic. So, ladies and gents, some of the things that we'll be taking you through as I get ready to hand over is just take you through a dare to dream exercise, and then get very specific goals in each of those dream areas, helped by some beautiful pictures that represent that, helped by some beautiful affirmations and prayers. And you know what, I'm giving it to you now, but I know human behavior. I've studied it my whole life. You won't do it on your own. You can't do it on your own. You don't have the energy and the inspiration and the motivation to do it on your own. So we'd love to be your coaches. All right, then we're going to help you with 5 major goals. The 5 goals that when you achieve them in 1 year will bring about a whole bunch of amazing stuff for you. We're going to look at money, because your relation to money is important. And when you dare to dream, we'll go, okay, so describe your dream home. Right, what would that cost? 3 million. You need money, right? You want to go overseas a couple of times. Thank you for the heart there. You want to go overseas a couple of times. It's going to cost you money. You want to send your kid to a decent school like we did, Rachel. Okay. We sent our kid to a decent school. Nearly broke the bank, but it was high enough on our values. What do you want? But you need money for it. And we need, and you know what? It's in the head. You were born into a family that programmed you. Okay, you were born in, and you'll probably find that you're more or less the same financial bracket that your parents were. We're probably a little higher. We can double that. Okay, so I'm going to ask you right now, what did you earn last year? We could help you double that. And it's not so much about getting out and working harder. It's about starting to believe that you're deserving. It's, T. Harv Eker said, you can never earn more than your self-worth. Absolutely right. So what could be more important than working on your self-worth, your self-confidence, your self-belief? That's my job. That's my job. Vinesh Maharaj is on the more on the outer game. He's going to come in, kick ass, kick this oak in the teeth and that oak in the teeth and average in the teeth. I'm just going to go, you've got to become first. And then it starts. You've got to be first. And then it starts to manifest for you. And you can do some visualization. You can do some exercises. Ladies and gents, you are a frequency. You're a frequency. Okay. And because you're a frequency and you're a vibration. So the biggest question can be, how do I raise my self-esteem? How do I raise or change my vibration to start attracting the stuff that I really want? It's relatively simple, but like Vanessa and I realized, if we had got good coaching earlier, 10 years earlier, we'd be in a different place now. Okay. And you know what? You're on the line. You're in the right place at the right time. And I know that because you're there. It's very simple. You're there, therefore it's right. And we're just going to encourage you. Vanessa's going to tell you what our offer is on this webinar. This webinar is thank you to COVID virus. Okay, the coronavirus. Thank you very much for locking us down and forcing us to do what we've been meaning to for 2 years. We are so grateful. This is the fruit of that. And so I'm going to hand you over to Vinesh. Let him give you some. Hey, Morkel, yo Easter. I'm going to give Vinesh an opportunity to share with you some of the stuff, his thoughts, and some of the stuff that he will be sharing. Thank you very much. Hallelujah.
Hey, again, thanks, Stephen. Great job as always. That is just a brief introduction. The stuff that we do, we could spend 2 to 3 days in the room helping and sharing and providing more value. So if you're on Zoom and you like what Stephen said, go to the chat box and give me a 10. Come on, folks. Give Stephen a 10. Make some noise in the room. And if you're on Facebook, go like, comment, and share. Share the stream. We'd love to reach more people. Stephen, let's give Stephen a 10. Thank you very much, Larice. Thank you very much, everybody. We appreciate you. Yeah, Chris, thank you. Fantastic. Well done there, man. Hey, Carmen's being very generous. 12 out of 10, Stephen. All right. So here's the deal, right? Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're absolutely right. Whether you think you can or think you can't, man, you're spot on. So what are these limiting beliefs that we have? And I want to take you on a story, a little adventure with me. And the story goes like this, is that everybody I know wants to be skinny, happy, and rich. And skinny, happy, and rich is relative. Somebody wants to weigh 60K, somebody wants to weigh 80Ks, somebody wants to have 10 million, somebody wants to have 1 million, somebody just wants financial freedom or comfort. So it's all relative. So sadly, human beings go to this wonderful fantasy island called Someday Isle because we all want to be skinny, happy, and rich. Yeah. And we're so intelligent, we know exactly what we need to do to become skinny, happy, and rich. You're smart, you already got the program, but you're not playing at that level. So you know what it's going to take to achieve skinny, happy, and rich, but why don't you pull the trigger? And I'll tell you why. You go, when I say you, I'm talking about mankind, all of us. We go to this wonderful fantasy island called Someday Isle. Someday I'll join the gym and lose weight. Someday I'll go back to university and get my degree. Someday I'll start investing. Someday I'll start creating wealth. Someday I'll call the financial advisor and do the will. God forbid. Someday I'll. And what is the chief topic of discussion on Someday Isle? The chief topic on Someday Isle is excusitis. People sit around the fire justifying why they live a life of average. They sit around the fire and they tell stories about how terrible life has been, how they've been dealt a bad hand, how they are victims of their circumstances. Why are you here, Vinesh? We're a very poor man. And why are you here, Jody? Vinesh, I was abused as a child. And why are you here, Mary? My father and mother died in a car accident when I was 6 years old. Man, I'm so sorry to hear that you've had a tough life. But hey, welcome to life. Stephen has a saying, nobody gets out of here unscathed. So if you think about all the excuses that we suffer that justify us being poor, overweight, why we justify ourselves being average, underperforming our potential, because we are anchoring, we are holding on to this big bag that's giving us the hunchback. Yeah, you're getting a hunchback from excuses, and these excuses will bury you and they will drown you. We have to unleash, we have to surgically remove the disease of excusitis, and we do that through this beautiful program that I'm going to offer you later today. So can you imagine that you're free from your past programming? To get off the Someday Isle place, you need to vote yourself off the island right now. Stop justifying being overweight. Stop justifying being broke. Stop justifying being lonely. Stop justifying any problem you're experiencing in life. Because that justification reinforces your suffering. Stop suffering, in other words, is what I'm saying. We have a technique for you to release those excuses. When you come onto the program, we'll share more of that with you. Now I want to go and tell you about your parents, your and my parents. We were born ignorant into this world, and we had to learn the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, right? And as a kid, unfortunately, our well-intentioned family treated and compared us to our siblings, our peers, our relatives, our neighbors. Vinesh, why can't you be more like Jill, Jack, Joe, or Mary? Why can't you be like them? Why didn't you study and get more? Why can't you score goals like he does, or do the ballerina twirl like she does? And people suffer this programming, and they feel a lack of self-worth. Now, self-worth will determine your net worth. And if you have low self-worth, you're going to have low net worth. You have to overcome this stuff. Then we're going to go into, you're a young boy and girl, and folks, bear with me. You and I have been called names, right? Names that we were not proud of, names we can't say in public. Our friends, our family, our nicknames, the bad names that you were called as a child growing up, and you had no defense mechanism because you're a kid. Now, hold on. You turn 15, you go through some hormones, your voice breaks, you become a man or you become a woman. And guess what happens? You find love. You fall in love. And as we know, like with Romeo and Juliet, heart follows romance and love. So I want you to remember that time. Just go back to that moment when you fell in love for the first time and she broke your heart and you were devastated. Do you remember that time? So here you are, you go through this emotion, little roller coaster of life. You're trying to understand this deal called life, but you don't have the necessary stuff because you're still evolving, you're still growing. So guess what happens? Now you go to school and you're competing for grades, you're competing with your peers, you're competing to get out of school, and your parents, your teachers, instead of raising your potential and possibility, they invariably speak down and bring down your net worth, your self-worth, and you discount all the good stuff that you have within. Now, how is that person going to win the World Cup of life? It freaking ain't possible. You can't win the World Cup of life if you're suffering mediocrity, if you're suffering average. So now stay with me. Here you are. You now going to apply for a job when you graduate school, apply for university, apply for a job, and sometimes life kicks you back in the teeth. Life kicks you in the teeth and says, no. How do you handle such rejection? How do you handle such pain? And we expect that these broken human beings, to play full out, find love, abundance, joy, bliss, fulfillment from this thing called life, and they have no preparation. All they have is programming that damns them to a life of average. Now, I want to challenge you. For anything in your life to change, you absolutely must change your mindset. Your mindset is the beginning and the end of everything that happens to you. If you can understand the power of the mind, and Napoleon Hill said, whatever the minds of man can think and conceive, whatever the minds of man can conceive, believe, it can achieve. But because most human beings are suffering mediocrity, we're talking about and thinking about all our problems. Hey, guess what you get for breakfast if all day long you're talking problems? You get more problems. When you go to bed and you're worried about your finances, your health, your relationships, instead of creating a positive outcome, you're now creating a negative outcome. So what are you feeding? What are you seeding? What are you thinking? Do you have control over the mind, or is the mind running you on your unconscious programming? Think about the iceberg. The iceberg, what we see of you and me in the public, is just the top of the iceberg, how we project and how we present. But below the iceberg is where the demons are crawling in the heart and the mind, pulling you down and saying you're not good enough, saying that you're unworthy, saying that you don't deserve it. And we have to absolutely change this dialogue, your inner dialogue, through the processes that we'll be taking through when we do our boot camp, the online version that we're going to introduce today. Take you through that process so you can change your programming, change your dialogue, change your internal conversation, and build self-worth, build self-esteem and self-belief so that you can actually start performing at a level of life that is greater than anyone else. Now, mindset is not enough. After you change your mindset, you're going to have to take up the actions to change, because you'll hear this from a great guy. His name is Tony Robbins. He says, emotion comes from motion. Because you know, and I know, when you go to the gym, when you run the road, when you swim, when you cycle, you get addicted to those feel-good hormones. You have a pharmaceutical factory right now that could produce emotions on demand. The reason why people are, and no offense to people who are depressed, because everybody's depressed at any time in their lives. If you're depressed and you're suffering depression, you get addicted to depression. So what are your addictions? Some people said chocolate earlier. So I want to now take you through what are the actions you need to do to take every day so that you can change your life, change your wiring, change your programming, your neuroplasticity, and then step out into life and start taking so much action in the 7 areas of life: your health, your wealth, your relationships, your family, your God community, your spirituality, all of these areas, learning and teaching, education, these are critical in your development. Most people are suffering so much at life that they'd rather struggle on Monday through till Thursday night, and Friday they change their state. Let me tell you a quick story. Tony Robbins speaks about living in a box. When you wake up in the morning, you're in a box. That square bed is a box. You get out of the box, you get into the shower, hey, that's also a box. You then have a box cereal, yeah? You get in your car, which is a box shape. You get to the office, you park in a parking bay, that's a box. You get up in the lift, another box. You put on the box called your computer screen. When you have lunch, boom, you open up your lunch box. You come home, you put on the telly, you're watching the one-eyed box. And then to change your state on Friday night, people find pleasure in a cylindrical can. It's normally called a beer because we're trying to change our state. Now, people don't know how to change their states, and we'll teach you how to do that at our upcoming Create the Ultimate Lifestyle by Kicking Average in the Teeth by the Yin Yang Sales. Now, lastly, what we're offering you, my good people, is freedom. Freedom from the rat race. Freedom from emotional, mental, financial suffering. Everybody is suffering some degree or another of the 7 areas of life. Our commitment to you is that on this program, from the 6th of May till the 19th, roughly, 10 sessions, 1 hour each, to create the ultimate lifestyle so you no longer live average, so you no longer play small, so you no longer suffer mediocrity, but you actually start owning your opportunities. You take control of this beast, this body, this mind, this heart, and you use it to its true potential. Most people are trying to survive. And what do they survive? They want to survive the day, the week, the month, the year. We don't want to survive. We want to live full out. We want to experience. We want to travel. We want to be fulfilled. We want to be joyous. Hey, the truth is, when you were a kid, you wanted to be Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, Batgirl, Nancy Drew. You had heroines and you aspired for greatness. But somewhere along the line, our programming got taken over unconsciously by our environment. So stop being a product of your environment. Start being a product of your intention. Because when you set an intention and you follow that intention up with action and you keep tweaking, you must succeed. I'll give you a scenario. You're driving from Johannesburg to Durban and you get a puncher on the way. Do you stop and come home and decide not to go to Durban? No, you don't. You fix the puncher and then you go. You get a Harry Smith and your engine seizes. Do you now pack up your car and go back home? No, I'm going to Durban because you're in it to win it. You're fully committed. Durban is the goal or the destination. Let's get to your goals and your destination together. Let me tell you quickly about our offer. Because this is our introductory launch offer, we're giving it away to you. When I say giving it away, you're going to laugh when I give you the price. So you and I know, if you got a coach for an hour session, 1 day a week, or 1 hour with a coach, it's going to cost you thousands of rands for an hour's one-on-one coaching with a coach. Some of you know the prices of our programs. Some of you may know the prices of other programs. Mind Power is a good example of a program that's very popular and people know the price. So we're not going to charge you those prices. We want to gift you because we want to help you get to the next level of your dreams, goals, hopes, and aspirations. To do that, we've decided to kick average in the teeth, to kick the price in the teeth, so that you never have to have an average lifestyle with an average husband or wife, with an average home, with an average car, with an average holiday, eating average for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Starting to sound like 2-minute noodles when you think of average, right? So I want to encourage you and I want to invite you to come and join us on this program. It is absolutely fundamentally life-changing. It'll shift you from a place of mediocrity and average so you can actually step up and embrace all your freaking potential. So you've been gifted. And I know that within you is greatness. And this program is intended to rip out that greatness so that you can actually start living a life inspired by passion, by potential, by desire, and you have the drive. You have the drive to go and get whatever it is you set your intention to. So this program, typically it would have been 2,000 Rand per person. For today only, we're giving it away to you. If you are on Facebook and you'd like to get this program online, to give the context, it's 10 hours, starting on the 6th of May, an hour a day from 3 to 4 p.m., 6th of May till the 19th, maybe 20th of May. 1 hour investing in your greatness, investing in your potential, investing in your dreams. Are you worth it? If you're not worth investing in your dreams, hey man, we have to get that final box that Tony Robbins spoke of. That final box is called a coffin. And you'll know that between birth date and death date is that dash. The dash that we are living now, it's called life. We want to extend the quality of your life. We want to help you achieve every single goal you set for yourself, that your bucket list is fulfilled and you leave this planet at that day of death. You leave this planet without a note in you because you played and sang the songs within you. You left here fulfilled and left totally empty because you had achieved everything you set your mind and your heart to. 2,000 Rand is the normal price. We're giving it away today. For you on Facebook, if you'd like to get this program, we can send you more details. Direct message me, Vinesh Baraj. If you're watching on Stephen's stream or Laurisa's stream, direct message them, your name, surname, telephone number, and email address so we can get you on the program. Folks, the price. The price is a humble 500 Rand per person. 500 Rand, that's 50 Rand. Oh my gosh, that's 25 Rand a day. My maths, I can't believe it. We're giving this to you because we want to gift you. We want to gift you and help you take you to the next level. Folks, if you're on this chat on Zoom, I'd love for you to say yes so we have your name. Who's on? Let's see. I'm going to Zoom. Who'd like to do this? Give me your yes. I'm in. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you, Laurice. Thank you, Verna. Thank you, Namita. On Facebook, who's in? Give me a yes. Yes, Marinus, thank you very much. Roxanne, thank you and welcome. Congratulations. Facebook, who's giving me some love, man? Come on, say yes. Hilda, thank you very much, Hilda. What we're going to do is on Zoom, we're going to post a link that you can take care of your transaction. And then we can add you to our mailer list and you can receive all the information you need so that you can be there. You can be there on the 6th, ready to change your life, to grow, to become, and fulfill all your childhood dreams, all your ambitions. And I promise you that nobody's going to come and save you, man. Nobody's coming to save me and you. Nobody. Not my poor dad, not my rich dad, not my siblings, not my friends. Nobody's coming to save you. You've got to save yourself. We want to give you the wings so you can soar and you can fly. Folks, Stephen, I'm going to ask that I bring you back on the chat so we can continue and close up and wrap and share with everyone what we're going to be doing on that day. So from my side, while I get Stephen on the line, I'm going to take you through a couple of chapters in my book, Kick Average in the Teeth, which inspired this talk. And we want to start helping you by, number one, taking responsibility for your greatness. And what does that mean? What are the practical action-driven steps that you need to do, you need to perform so that you can actually summit Mount Greatness? And then, in addition to that, I'm also going to talk about how do you break this box-like thinking? How do we stay trapped in this box of fear? Because everybody I know is so afraid right now. And you know what Warren Buffett says? Is that when they're running backward, we should be running forward. When they're running away from the market, we should be running to the market. I'm going to take you through that. I'm going to hand over to Stephen so that he can give some insights into what he's going to be doing. Thereafter, while we're waiting for Stephen, I'm also going to be talking to you about how do you set up your goals in a way that it's not average? How do you now take one of the 7 areas, find a goal, challenge yourself, build the necessary steps and micro steps in the goal, and then go to work to achieve it? And I think a lot of us establish goals and we struggle with executing them because they're too out of our mind's eye. With having said that, I'm going to hand over to Stephen. By the way, if you're on Facebook, go on, like, comment, share, say yes, and send me your name, surname, telephone number, and we can get the bank details to you. Stephen.
Thank you, Vinesh. That was awesome. You are so inspiring, man. The first time I saw you speak for 30 seconds at BNI, you inspired me so much. I went, man, I want me some of that. I want me some of that. So yes, look, let me just go over very quickly, very briefly what I'll take you through. And I just want to warn you up front that when I read the things out, they don't seem as awesome, or they may not seem as awesome as they really are. You know, we've got a couple of people on the line today who have done some of our stuff. And if you're on the line and you know us and you love us and you refer us and recommend us, won't you just write something in the box right now, just so that people out there know that we're not just frauds that are here to steal your 500 Rand. I mean, really, if I'm going to go to jail, I want to go to jail for 5 million. All right, so Brett, yeah, thank you very much. So I'll go through. So we're going to go through the Dare to Dream exercise, and with that, there's a fantastic visualization that we'll leave with you that you can listen to every day. We're going to set 5 major goals. We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about the important people in your life and the least important people. We actually, you know, I don't want to give too much away, but, you know, you'll have an opportunity to connect with the people that you're fighting with and hold out the olive branch, because, you know, nothing, thank you, Andrea, nothing could be more powerful than just letting go of all of the stupid cuck in your life, right? And then we're going to look at success zone. I'm going to work on very strongly around building the inner belief, the inner core, so that we can become more. And that's, you know, looking at your 10 greatest achievements and write down a list of all the things you're grateful for, what you love the most, the 10 most people you're grateful for, who you forgive, what you need to forgive yourself for. And then the massive John DeMartini exercise that we've trained in is that, you know, owning the traits of the greats, owning the traits of the people you aspire to, so that, you know, you become more like them. You know, I did this exercise a while ago on John DeMartini, and, you know, since doing that, you know, I'm not awestruck looking up into his eyes like, you know, can I just wipe up the crumbs under your table, John? Yeah, I'm equal to him. I own all of the traits of John DeMartini. I own all of the traits of Tony Robbins. I own all of the traits of Vinesh Maharaj. Imagine that, my word. So, yeah, listen. There's a lot of stuff. There's highs and lows. There's ups and downs. We'll laugh and we'll cry. We'll hug at the end. There are times when you may want to slap me in the face, and I'll get that. But that's my job, and we'll work through it. And at the end, we'll just be so close as a group, even though we're you know, not tied together and not in the same room. But it's just beautiful. It's just powerful stuff. So, you know. If you need a direct debit form to do 100 Rand a month for 5 months, let us know. It's almost not worth it on the direct debit, but, you know, we need to get this thing up and running, and, you know, donate what you can, do what you can, get up there with us, so that, you know, we can help you look at money. We can help you look at creating the family you want, the money you want, the home you want, the dreams you want, the business you want, anything you want. We can, anything you want, okay? You know, within reason, within a reasonable reason, but you can have anything you want if it's important enough. We'd love to help you with that. So, could have just give us in the chat box, give us a 9 if you have now considered joining since I came back on with my Umlungu magic. And listen, as I leave you, let me give you just one thought around money, because look, it's a tough time. The worst thing, thank you. The worst thing you can do right now is get into fear and clam up. All right. As you sow, so shall you reap. So my late father, he was a great guy most of the time, a lot of the time, but he left me some pearls of wisdom. One of them was never make a decision based on money. Okay, make the decision based on what's right. That's what we did with Victoria's School. We couldn't afford it at the time, quite frankly. We couldn't afford it, but we made a decision. This is what she needs. It felt right in our souls, in our hearts, in our souls, in our energy. We went. We have to send this kid to the school. We can't afford it. What are we going to do? And so we made the decision based on what's right. So and then we found the money. And funnily enough, what happened, Vinesh? The money manifested. The money, well, yeah, am I scroll? Do I look like I haven't eaten in 10 years? Quite the opposite, okay? Ladies and gents, we live in an abundant universe. We live in an abundant universe. You know, you look out your window right now, look at the trees, look at the birds, look at the butterflies, look at the grass, look at the flowers. Go to I bet you most of you on this call, go to your grocery cupboard and open it. Go to your cupboard and open it. And check all the jerseys you haven't, or the sweaters you haven't used in the last 2 years. We live in an abundant world, and that abundance is yours. It's ours. It's there to take. It's just in the mind, and it's my job to help you to get there. So please, will you make a good decision for yourself, for your family right now? Just make the decision to join us, pay the money, find it somewhere, put it on we can send you a credit card link. You know, we can put it on credit card and put it on blimmin', what's that thing, budget over 12 months. It's like 80 Rand a month, I think. All right, you can afford it. It's probably 40 Rand a month. You can afford it. We'd love to have you on board. Please do whatever it takes to join us.
Hey, thanks, Stephen. Well done there, man. So listen, part of your syllabus from my side, I'm going to be talking about NLP and limiting beliefs, exercises you could do to first discover what are your limiting beliefs. Number 2, how do you destroy those limiting beliefs? And number 3, very importantly, understanding the principles of pain and pleasure that drive human behavior. We're driven by pain, pushes us towards pleasure, and sometimes we get addicted to pain. You get comfortable in suffering that for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, you've suffered so well that you stop moving forward. Cindy's asking for bank details. Laurice, Stephen, we can handle that. It'll be great. Really, we want to take you to use your pain as fuel in the furnace of achievement. Take that pain and use it as fuel. And then we want to take you the principles of pleasure, to what drives you, what really compels you, what pushes you that you will get the life that you deserve. And lastly, I do an exercise on the exercise about the man in the mirror, looking yourself in the mirror, confronting all your failures and seeing them as the stepping stones to opportunity, to growth, and then looking in the mirror of opportunity. Because I believe that in every human being, there is everything we've needed. We are a universe ourselves as part of God's children, this world, this creation. If you're a universe with 8 billion cells dependent on you for life, can you imagine how much power you have, both internally and externally in manifestation? So we want to do that man in the mirror exercise. We then want to do a seeding exercise with you to be sure that you're seeding the right thing. Not only is it what must I create, what must I renounce, what must I give up? Who are those people who are pulling you down? Do you need them in your life? No, if they're holding you back, maybe you should consider getting rid of them. If your 7 Series BMW is crippling you right now, the question is, should I be keeping the 7 Series BMW because it's giving me sleepless nights? Or can I raise more revenue, more income, so that I never have to stress about the 10 grand car payment? So it's really, really a powerful process. We're then going to take you through the high-level success mastery lifestyle areas and accountability, coaching, setting and establishing goals that are meaningful and well-formed, and then building up that blueprint, that action-based blueprint that you're going to take to war with your goals and your family. Stephen, if you're there, if you have any parting shots, I want to transfer to you. If not, I want to say thank you to everybody who's made the decision to be here. Thank you very much for those of you who said yes. For those of you who have not made the decision, you know, if we're not your cup of tea, I apologize profusely up front. Maybe you should go to the coffee stand, but there's a drink for everybody on this planet, man. Listen, Chris, thank you very much for your honesty, and we will make some arrangements. Werner, how do we pay? We're going to send you a credit card payment link, a debit order link, and banking details for EFT. Is that right, Stephen?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Werner, if you logged in and registered via email, then we've got your email details. Could you just confirm that we have that, or else just write your email address in there and we'll send you. So you have an option. You can do an EFT directly. You can. We've got a credit card link from Yoko, or there's a direct debit option, which is the least ideal for us because, frankly, 100 Rand a month doesn't really help. But we're doing it for you, not for us. If that's the only thing you can do, that'll be great. And Andrea, yeah, we encourage you, to join us. You've been coming to our stuff for years, you and your mom. Maybe it's time now to pay it back, pay it into the future. You can't tell us you don't like to drive at night anymore, because this is online via webinar in the comfort of your own home. So, why don't you bless us with some of your money and help us along there while we help you. Very good. Very good. Awesome. Thank you, Marinus4. Very good. Thank you. I will send you banking details. We can't wait to have you on board and just create an astounding lifestyle together.
All right, good people. If that's it, we want to wrap it up. We want to thank you. Thanks again for showing up. Keep on being great. Keep on taking action in the line of your dreams and goals and aspirations. And by the way, if you're in sales, you want to talk to Stephen and I after this. Let us come and help your company, your sales team. Let's take steps to create the ultimate life, to be great, and to kick average in the teeth. My name is Dinesh Maharaj. With my white magic partner, Mr. Stephen Van
Basten. Mr. Fantastic, feeling bombastic. Brett, give a DJ in the house. Give it to us.
Take a trip to east and west, you find out you don't know anything. Everybody's getting tired of you. Sometimes you have to look and listen. You can even learn from me. Little knowledge is dangerous. It's my life. It's my life. It's my life, my world. It's my life. It's my life, my brother. It's my life. It's my life, my world. It's my life. It's my life, my brother. It's my life. Set me free, so you bet, so you lie. What you see is what you get. Listen to people and saw things I do, then no more. Things I say, then no more. Changes come once in life. Stop forgiving me, stop bothering me, stop forgiving me, stop forcing me, stop fighting me, stop killing me, stop telling me, stop seeing me. It's my life. It's my life.